signs you could have stayed. It's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through colored glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
This video editing is gonna be kind of hard because I'm picking up from my last video where some of the video clips that I recorded, the audio were not working, but when I narrate over the videos, my voice is fine. Now I have the videos and the audio are working. My problem is to not re-record my comments or criticism, so I'm gonna have to try to cut and paste certain areas so I don't have to re-narrate it again. So I got the videos. This editing is gonna be fun, so let's get to it. All right, let's go to the next tweet. There's that. All right, so here is a thread of a local TV news station covering Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. As you watch, you'll notice just straight facts highlighting the work they do. Let's support honest media. All right, I sort of saw it's long, okay? She put a lot of clips, so I decided, let me add it and share it with you. It's a lot of clips. All right, Channel 4 WNBC TV at NBC New York covers the Sussexes' trip to New York with a special visit to Melba Harlem restaurant. They highlight the level of impact the $25,000 donation had on employee relief fund. All right, so I shared this before, but let's do it again for the sake of this video. Let me rewind.
Restaurant in Harlem. Like all people in this industry, were hit really hard by the pandemic. But today, Melba herself did something to make their lives a little easier, and she had help from none other than Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. News 4's Mark Santia was there to see it all.
And by the way, just to let you know, anybody who's new on this video, in this channel, no matter what video clips that I have to interrupt in between. Okay, so I don't get blocked or flagged for being violating of copyright. Okay, so I'm just letting you know.
Here at Melba's in Harlem today, the staff gathered for a meeting, but they had no idea a surprise was on the menu.
There was something that happened here that was very magical. I'd say about a month ago. We were blessed to have the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan, came in the
And the thing, when those haters are saying, oh, Meghan is doing publicity and all of that, guess what? All right? The news people decided to cover that. Look at Meghan already left doing different things and all of that. They decided to cover it. And then the other thing is that the Melba could have easily, okay? Think about it. Meghan didn't tell anybody else but the owner. Can you imagine someone with a heartless, how do you call this, when somebody wants everything for themselves, okay, could have easily kept that a secret and then even mention it to her employees, okay? So she's letting us know this is what she did with the money that Meghan and Harry had donated to her, okay? Let's listen.
Last month, Meghan and Harry unexpectedly dropped into Melba's for a meal during their visit to New York City.
When I heard that they were coming to dine at Melba's, I was shocked.
They were so sweet. It was just a great experience I would never forget.
It's here at Melba's that Harry tried his very first chicken and waffles, the famous chicken and waffles.
They loved everything, first and foremost, but the chicken and waffles was absolutely astounding to them.
They asked owner Melba Wilson
That's the thing where the squad be saying, now he knows what seasoned food is, you know, with Miss Doria, with her collard green and all of that. So, yeah, and the word that I was looking for was greedy. All right, if Melba was greedy, decided to keep all the fun to herself and don't mention it, all right, none of us would have known. Okay, so because of the things that she felt like everybody should know what a good person these two individuals are, Harry and Meghan.
Melba Wilson to sit with them and talked about their employees and how COVID has hit the food and beverage industry.
Meghan said, actually, we're going to leave a gift for you. We're going to leave a gift. And she said, we're going to make a donation of $25,000.
Thank you so much.
So Melba divided the money equally and gave it to all her employees.
It's an amazing thing.
This is giving a lot of hope and love and just in relief.
This team, who makes it a point to give back to the community and helped feed more than 200,000 frontline workers during the pandemic, is savoring this gift from Meghan and Harry.
Okay.
In Harlem, Mark Santia, News 4 New York.
All right, so that's this one. The next one, Fox 5 Atlanta, WAGA TV covered the story of black-owned food trucks donated by Harry and Meghan to the King Center for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a day of service. So that was last month. 2 months ago. All right, let's listen.
Sussex honor the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on MLK Day. Prince Harry and Meghan supplied the King Center for Nonviolent Social Change in Atlanta with black-owned food trucks on Monday. And joining me now, entertainment host Miss Basketball Christina Granville. Christina, good morning. So good to see you.
Good morning. So great to see you as well.
Oh, makes me so happy. Okay, so the couple really showed some love for the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and also for black-owned businesses. Tell us more.
Yes, I mean, it's so important. You know, yesterday we celebrated Martin Luther King Day, and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they have been doing so much since moving here to the U.S. You know, they were the Dutch and Duchess of Sussex. But yesterday, they have ties to Martin Luther King Center, not only through the legacy of Martin Luther King, but through Mr. Michael Curry, who officiated their wedding. So they decided to go ahead and donate black-owned businesses, food trucks.
And the thing is that with them, when they meet good people, they never lose contact with them. They never lose contact with them. All right, that's with the bishop.
So every volunteer, staffers, everyone who came out to the event yesterday were blessed with black-owned food trucks in order to celebrate this amazing day for social change.
I love that. And their actions, you know, really touch the family as well. Bernice King, the late civil rights icon's daughter, went to Twitter, said in part, quote, "I'm so grateful for your graciousness in honoring my father." So it's really clear that their actions, you know, went above and beyond to honor the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And their family seemed very touched by it as well.
I did share that news with you guys in one of my videos, but not that video clip. I did not share that video clip. I didn't come across that video clip until now.
Yes, it's so important. Dr. Martin Luther King, he literally lived a life of service. His legacy, as you can see, actually lives on. And I believe Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they're doing just that. They're building a legacy. And ever since being here in the U.S., they've been doing it nonstop. They did it last year. They're doing it this year again. And it's so important that we keep that legacy going. And like Michael Curry, the person that officiated their wedding, he said it's about love. And those same words came from Martin Luther King. So it's all about building, you know, that love and building a legacy that people can live and go and thrive to be, you know, just really try their best to give back and build a legacy.
Something we all should probably do a whole lot more of, right, Christina? Yes, thank you so much for being on our show and hanging with us. Always so great to see your beautiful face.
All right, so that's that one. Let's go to the next one. News Channel 8 WFLA TV covers Prince Harry's new job with Better Up. All right, 20 seconds.
Better Up Inc., which offers professional and mental health coaching. Prince Harry has spoken often about mental health. It's still unclear whether the new job is full-time, where it'll be based. Harry and his wife Meghan Markle also run a charitable foundation and have signed multi-million-dollar deals with companies like Spotify and Netflix.
All right. If she doesn't find the clips online, she recorded on her thing. All right, so there's the next one here. Channel 4 WNBC TV, NBC New York report on the Freedom Gala at the Intrepid Museum, all the interviews focusing on the honorees and supporters of the organization. The theme of the night being the invisible wound of war for veterans. Okay, 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Wounds. And tonight, on the eve of Veterans Day, those who are recognized have a very important message for veterans.
Thank you so much. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex in New York City Wednesday meeting with veterans and their families before Prince Harry presented them with Valor Awards at the Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum.
Very humbling.
5 service members living with the invisible wounds of war honored at the annual gala, including Chief Warrant Officer 5 Stephen Radinsky of the Marine Corps.
It sheds a light on the importance to get away from the stigma of the mental health issues that impact veterans. So it's a good thing. And as we approach,
it's a shame to see that these two, Harry and Meghan, trying to do so much good. Evil keeps on poking at them. Evil keeps on poking at them. Look at yesterday. Actually, I came across the lawsuit by her sister yesterday, but it was out since the day before. But this is why we can never stop praying. Every time you pray for your family, include them in your prayers, because evil is trying to find a hole to penetrate through. We can never stop. No matter how well the Sussexes are doing, we must keep on praying. Okay? Never stop praying, even for yourself and your family, because evil is trying to find ways to penetrate.
Veterans Day, what is your message tonight? It's a really good question. Just for anyone out there who's struggling, take the step. Ask for help.
Being able to have this opportunity now to recognize the invisible wounds of war through 5 very significant people who have come back with exactly those wounds, PTSD, and also having TBI, traumatic brain injury. We are able to use this platform of the Intrepid to be able to tell the story of how important it is to focus on it.
Hall of Fame musician John Bon Jovi.
When I first covered this, when they were doing it, when they went to New York, what was it? I said something like, we took the kids to the Intrepid. It was not the Intrepid. Later on, I found out the Intrepid is next to the ship that we went to visit. So it was not the same thing. So I want to make this clear. And then Harry with Bon Jovi, they still remain very close. All right, move back a little bit.
Hall of Fame musician John Bon Jovi also recognized for his humanitarian efforts. His work with veterans highlighted.
It's an honor for us to be here on the eve of Veterans Day and give respect and appreciation to so many people the veterans who don't get the proper respect, in my opinion, they should, for service to the country. It's the reason we have the great...
Two-faced people.
It's the Marine Corps birthday. I'm not a military person, but I got to work and serve with a lot of military folks, so I'm really proud to be here.
Natalie and David.
That's good to know. You know, he's not doing the bandwagon saying I'm not a military person, you know. Anyway.
There was a moment we wanted to highlight there. Of course, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex getting so much attention as they walked the red carpet. And of course, they were peppered with a number of questions. But they ignored almost every single one of them so they could give their attention completely to the veterans and their families. The director of the museum telling me Harry himself did not want to be recognized. He wanted tonight to be about those veterans. We saw it firsthand. It was. Live tonight on the West Side. I'm Adam Harding, News 4, New York.
Those haters who keep on saying they want the spotlight, this and that, there it is. This guy is saying it right there. I know. I'm thinking about the question where, are you proud of your husband? And then Meghan is like, very proud. Something like that. I forgot exactly how it went. All right, let's see. How many more? There's a lot. This might be the entire video. All right, let's look at this one. At CBS New York and WCBS TV Channel 2 report on Meghan's visit to New York in 2019 for her baby shower and highlight her upcoming trip to Morocco to bring awareness to the importance of girls' education and youth empowerment. Okay, 26 seconds.
In New York City tonight, the Duchess of Sussex is here for a little time with her girlfriends or becoming a mom. Sources telling People magazine Meghan Markle's friends are throwing her a baby shower. Markle and Prince Harry are expecting their first child in April. Markle will be heading to Morocco for a 3-day visit to...
Okay, it's very low. I'm going to have to really pump up the volume. And the other thing that I was thinking is that so many things they were going through. All right, somebody was trying to, you know, harm her. Go back to some of my videos, some of the things the squad had on this trip in New York. It's unbelievable. This is why I keep on saying we need to keep on praying. All right, let's continue.
Girls' education and youth empowerment with Prince Harry later this month. Let's get...
Okay, so that was that. Okay, Channel 5 WMAQ-TV at NBC Chicago covers a story of Meghan as a student. Her professor at Northwestern University says she was a dynamic and bright woman who was always interested in using her voice for racial equality. On street interview showed the excitement of the student she inspired. All right, so this probably might be good for the lawsuit that the sister had put on her, saying that Meghan didn't pay, didn't pay for her college, her father paid for everything and all of that. My goodness. Let's see here. Very low. It's very low.
And as a reaction to the big announcement.
I have to put the volume.
It was here at Northwestern's School of Communication that Meghan Markle roamed the campus and attended classes. That was 14 years ago. But her professors remember the, quote, hardworking student like it was yesterday.
That thing needs to go to the court to show what the hell the sister's trying to talk about. My goodness, this is what hate brings people to. If she was a good person, can you imagine all the stuff that Meghan could have helped her and stuff like that? Wow. Oh, money make people blind.
One never anticipates a person marrying into the royal family. Right? A former student, right?
It was in the spring of 2003, Harvey Young's first year as a lecturer at Northwestern University, that he taught the now soon-to-be royal Meghan Markle.
She was dynamic. She was, actively engaged in conversation.
For 3 hours every week, Professor Harvey saw Markle grow into the star that he now has a lot of respect for, not just because she's engaged to Prince Harry.
This is before dating a prince. This is before the engagement. This was based upon her being a person who moved to LA, worked really hard, climbed her way up.
There it is. This is the thing here. This is how you get respect. You do your thing, people will recognize you. But these people are looking for faults, meaning those haters are looking for faults where no fault, where there is none. All right, these are people who came in contact with Meghan. Every single one of them, good people with good heart, see the bright things about Meghan, but the haters, no. My goodness. Let me move it back a little bit.
Climbed her way up, you know. While enrolled at Northwestern from 1999 to 2003, she majored in theater and was a member of the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority. After graduating, Markle landed a major role in the TV series Suits. She has used her platform as an actress for humanitarian efforts.
Yep, that was before Harry and all of this. She even passed that on kind of charitable work with Patrick. All right, Patrick was like, I don't know where this clip is. Patrick was like, oh, I'm an actor. I just act. What am I supposed to do? And Meghan told him that because of your platform, people are looking up to you. Do something extra with your platform. This is why so many people respect Meghan. This is why, you know?
She has used her platform as an actress for humanitarian efforts.
It's super cool because like my family's a huge fan of watching Suits, and so like it's amazing to see someone can be so successful like on TV and like know that I have the possibility of possibly like, you know, getting up there someday.
That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. If saying it out loud makes it sound pretty amazing.
And when it comes to memorable moments, Harvey says Markle was always interested in learning more about her own culture and using her voice for racial equality.
I remember sitting in my office, talking to a very bright, highly talented young woman about just her experiences as a biracial woman, and then realizing that there was this depth of understanding.
The couple planned.
Wow. That just reminded me of that video she had regarding, I forgot what was the thing was about, but she was talking about her mom facing racism. They call her mom the N-word. That's what just popped up in my mind.
A couple years ago, I heard someone call my mom the N-word. So I think for me, beyond being personally affected by racism, just to see the landscape of what our country is like right now, certainly the world, and to want things to be better.
And the other thing that popped up in my mind is that when I was in college, because I was paying my tuition out of my pocket, I could not take extra class that was not part of my curriculum. One of the electives that I took was African Study. And I wanted, after I graduate, to go back and take more African studies, but you know, other interests, other problems, kids, family, I couldn't do that. So that's one thing I sort of, I don't know if it's regret, maybe it is regret that I didn't take more of African study classes, but it's due to financial. I didn't have money. My money was based on to get that degree. Whatever the school, my program, the architecture required, that's all I had to take. I didn't take anything extra beyond that. But I wish I had taken more African studies, because when you look at it in high school, they didn't really teach that much of history about Africans and stuff like that. But I took one class. I remember very well, one class of African study, and it's through that class I came across the book Black Like Me, I believe, where this author took some what was it, drank something, I think it's a white guy, to turn his skin dark and to experience what African American went through. And what was it, what year was it, the 50s or the 60s? I don't remember, but it was through that class I came across that book, Black Like Me. Okay, next clip. Okay, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, WABC TV, WABC 7 New York report on the ground live the Sussex, New York City visit with on the street interview. One New Yorker says Meghan looked beautiful, while another longtime Suit fan says she, quote, loved their honesty and love, end quote, as a couple. It's one of the squatters who said, Meghan, love you.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the pair stopping by One World Trade earlier this morning. This is their first public trip since moving to the United States. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Diana Rocco.
Meghan and Harry didn't stop to answer questions, but they began their first public appearance here in New York City, waving to fans and paying tribute to the victims of 9/11. A royal visit with a spectacular view and a world-famous backdrop. Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, toured the World Trade Center Observatory Thursday. They were joined by the governor, the mayor,
and by the way, we have a new mayor. It's not the same mayor. And then this governor took over Andrew Cuomo. And, you know, I was right from the beginning regarding Andrew Cuomo. All the pressure, that nonsense allegation they were putting on him. Okay, I did say if he did do what they allege him of doing, he should, you know, be punished to the fullest. And the main reason that I felt like it was a made-up kind of thing is because Trump was there, and the investigation regarding the Epstein and what was the other one who's in jail right now. Okay, go on my other channel, Team Sussex, that other lady who been guilty and all of that. So they wanted him to get out of there, and then the Virginia lawsuit and all of that. So I was sort of right, because they find out that he didn't do anything wrong. Okay, so he gave up his position for no reason. What is it? The investigation come that, you know, he didn't do anything wrong. So I just want to point this out. All right, so we have a new mayor, and then the story with this governor is because of Andrew Cuomo. Okay, let's continue.
His wife and son. The two were all smiles. Meghan saying briefly it was good to be back in New York City, possibly her first time since her baby shower 2 years ago.
Oh, it was so exciting, and he's taller and thinner than I thought he was.
And how do you think Meghan looked?
Beautiful. As always.
The whole thing was totally unexpected.
She said, as always. She's like, beautiful. And then this one responded, as always. Yeah.
We're glad we're here early.
The entire appearance under tight security. They toured the pools and spent time in the 9/11 museum before they waved to crowds gathered outside and were on their way, quickly ducking into a black SUV.
I've loved Meghan since she was on Suits, so for quite some time, but I've always followed the royals, so her coming into the royal family just kind of renewed my love for and excitement around it. And I just love their honesty. Their love is just very clear. It comes across on camera.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex spent...
This is the thing that the royal just missed. Okay, people who flocked to the royals because of Meghan. Now majority of people was like seeing the nonsense that's going on. All right, and left along with Harry and Meghan.
A little bit more than an hour inside the Trade Center. They will be wrapping up their visit to New York City with an appearance at Global Citizen Live to talk about the importance of global vaccine equity.
Okay, so that's that. The next one, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, WABC TV at ABC7 New York report the happy news of the birth of Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, second child, and Archie little sister, Lilibet Diana. Oh, that's the first time I'm seeing this one. 42 seconds. Breaking news.
Meghan Markle have welcomed their second child. It was revealed in that interview with Oprah earlier this year that their baby was going to be a girl. They have named her Lilibet, or Lily for short. So Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor. She was born Friday at 11:40 a.m. at Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital.
She was born on a Friday because my firstborn was born on a Friday. My mother-in-law have this superstitious that your firstborn, if it born on a weekend, is gonna be a trouble child. So when I was submitted to the hospital on a Friday, she wanted me to have the baby on that Friday, like I had a choice. But thank God the baby come on a Friday. She was so happy it was on a Friday, because she said your firstborn should not be born on a weekend, because on weekend babies, your firstborn is trouble child. Oh, my husband and I always laugh about that.
Lilibet is a tribute to Queen Elizabeth, and her middle name, Diana, honors Harry's late mother, Princess Diana. Both mom and baby are healthy and well, and the couple also has a 2-year-old son, Archie, who is now a big brother. So
Okay, so let's go to the next one. Channel 4 WNBC TV, NBC New York, do street interviews of New Yorkers' surprise and delight for their visit. One person with a smile on her face saying, quote, they, Harry and Meghan, are trying to influence the world in a positive way. All right, 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Meghan Markle are in Manhattan right now, the couple kicking off their New York City trip this morning by visiting the highest point in the city, One World Trade. It's their first joint public outing since their daughter Lilibet was born in June. So we want to know what's next on their agenda. Let's go over to News 4's John Chandler live on the Upper East Side. Hey, John.
Hi, Natalie. Well, Harry and Meghan literally just drove by us a few minutes ago, returning from their visit this afternoon with the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. By all accounts, a good meeting, a productive meeting this afternoon. Returning.
I'm looking at those yellow cabs. They become very luxurious. I don't know. That's what's popping in my mind as I see the yellow cabs.
Here to the hotel on East 76th Street. They have made this visit to New York City without the kids. They've left both of them back in California as they tour the city. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex pose for cameras, joined by Governor Hochul and Mayor de Blasio this morning at One World Trade. Prince Harry asked, how does it feel to be back in New York?
Straight ahead, please.
This is his first visit to New York City since 2013. For his wife, her first visit here since that lavish baby shower in 2019.
Madam Duchess, are you enjoying your visit to New York?
The couple spent time.
You could see in that first visit in New York, Meghan was a little bit, I guess, I'll not say maybe shy or didn't know what to expect, especially after the barrage of negativity she was experiencing in the UK. So you see a little bit of shyness in her. Then later on, things started to open up, realizing that New York is more than happy to see her and things like that. Okay? Especially one of the squatters who screamed, Meghan, I love you, ooh, something like that. It's one of the squatters. I follow her on Twitter, by the way.
At the 9/11 memorial before returning to their hotel.
No way. They're here?
Yes, Harry and Meghan here outside the Carlisle, where some New Yorkers were buzzing.
Of course, I'm excited.
And others were indifferent.
You know, even if I try to say hi, they'll probably look at me like, okay, don't get close.
It's hard.
This is New Yorker. They don't give a damn about you. But, you know, they'll say hi, but they already know. That's the respect, the boundary. They already know. I like that her response. Let me remove it. Let me move it back a little bit. That's a true New Yorker right there. They understand boundaries.
Where some New Yorkers were buzzing.
Of course, I'm excited.
And others were indifferent.
You know, even if I try to say hi, they'll probably look at me like, okay, don't get close.
It's hard to get close here at the $1,300 a night hotel on East 76th Street that Harry's mother, Princess Diana, preferred.
You gotta stay somewhere.
Harry.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, New Yorkers are the best. They're like, they gotta stay somewhere.
And Meghan planned to attend this weekend's Global Citizen Festival in Central Park.
They're trying to influence the world.
She reminds me of what's her name? Mayim Bialik or something like that. She was on that CBS, and she used to be on that ABC TV show when she was a teen. What is it? I forgot the name. With Sheldon. I forgot her name. I forgot the name of the shows. But she reminded me of Mayim Bialik. And I can't believe I remember her name, but the shows I can't remember. All right.
World in a positive way.
And we should note Meghan also attended the U.S. Open in support of Serena Williams back in 2019 as well. As for what else might be on their agenda in addition to Global Citizen this weekend, they're keeping that pretty tight-lipped for these next couple of days. Going into the garage behind me, literally shutting the garage door behind a group of cameras that were waiting for them. Trying to keep this as low-key as possible in this visit here to New York. We're on the Upper East Side. I'm John Chandler, News 4 New York.
All right, a lot of
Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, at CBS New York, WCBS TV, Channel 2 report on Meghan 2019 visit to New York for her private baby shower. New Yorkers and the on the street interview says it's, quote, cool and fun, end quote, to have her in the city. Others saying they have a new fascination in the royal family because of now one is American. yep, they lose most of these people. The royal family, that is.
A very pregnant Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, stepped out of the Mark Hotel this morning amid tight security. The Upper East Side Hotel is where she is rumored to have held her baby shower. Royal watchers delighted she decided to host the celebration back home on U.S. soil.
It's definitely cool. I mean, it's fun to go somewhere that someone famous goes.
The 37-year-old Duchess is expecting her first child with Britain's Prince Harry in the spring. It's the former American actress's first trip back to the U.S. since their celebrity-filled wedding ceremony at Windsor Castle last May. But this secret shower, much more private.
I think she can fly more under the radar here just because, I mean, no one, like, we knew she came, but we didn't know she came till after.
There's a thing here. We knew she came because it's only afterward they mention it. I mean, the New Yorkers love to mind their own business sometimes.
Markle reportedly landed in the city on Friday for a 5-day trip. One of her stops to this French luxury bakery, La Durée, in Soho. A staff member tells us she served Markle and friends tea and macaroons in one of the bakery's private spaces. Markle was also seen shopping at this high-end children's clothing store, Bon Point. The last time members of the royal family visited New York City was several years ago. But back in 2014, when Prince William and Kate were in town, they stayed here at the Carlisle Hotel. It's also where Princess Diana stayed in 1995. Many we spoke to say they have a fascination with the royals, even more now that one is an American.
Newly married, and good luck.
Wishing the Duchess well for what will be the last time she's on American soil before giving birth. In Soho, Natalie Duddridge, CBS 2 News.
She's back to stay. All right, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, WABC TV at ABC TV New York cover a visit by a surprise guest at PS 123 and their effort to inspire a lifelong love of reading. Harry and Meghan donates books and goods to the school. The children vote on Hearts by their love, the bench. All right, 1 minute and 34 seconds.
Prince Harry and Meghan dropped by a school in Harlem. Special visit was part of the couple's effort to inspire students to develop a lifelong love of reading. Here's Sonia Rincon.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were generous with hugs as they got a warm welcome and an art project from the kids at PS 123 who'd been working on it for a special guest for the last week.
They didn't know. It was a complete surprise. They knew that something was happening, but they didn't know who was coming.
A group of second graders and Prince Harry were treated to a reading from the author of the Duchess's first children's book, The Bench, her tribute to her husband when he first became a father.
And the thing is that the sister, the half-sister, is jealous because the book that Meghan made is making more money than hers. You know, the children book, you know, very informative, very nice, simple, you know, but hers with a lot of words, meaning Meghan's half-sister, with a lot of words, but negativity, spiteful kind of information, maybe. I didn't read the book, but anyway, let's listen. So jealousy make people do a lot of stupid things.
I was at the moment witnessing my husband with our son when he had just been born and watching that this could be a place where they could continue to grow and connect and learn. And that could be anywhere. So it's about finding that special place for you that's in your heart, and wherever you find it to always go and reset and go, ah, this feels good.
The children had gotten a preview and shared their thoughts about the book on Hearts. 7-year-old Diani got to hand them to Meghan.
My heart said I liked the way when the mom was showing how much her husband loved his son.
Harry and Meghan left lots of copies of the book for the students here at PS 123 and encouraged them to keep reading. Their message today, promoting literacy. Tomorrow, their visit to the Global Citizen Festival will be promoting vaccine equity, encouraging wealthy nations to donate more COVID vaccine doses to countries that need them. In Harlem,
You know, one of the things I have with my kids on weekends, if they don't have any homework, even every day, all right, they're supposed to read for at least 30 minutes every single day. All right. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be one video by itself. Okay, I have 3 more clips. All right, this one 2 minutes. Oh, what is that? At CBS New York, WCBS TV2 covers day 2 of the Sussex, New York City trip and highlights Meghan's first public book reading of New York Times #1 best-selling children's book, The Bench, at PS 123. All right, so that's another channel, station that's covering the same thing that we just saw.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's visit to New York City. They're in town for a charity event to meet with global leaders and push vaccine equity. But the couple made a few stops, including visiting an elementary school in Harlem today. CBS 2's Natalie Duttridge reports.
Giving high fives and hugs, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle met with second grade students at PS 123 on West 141st Street. Harry sat with the kids as Meghan read from her book called The Bench.
I wrote this book originally as a poem for my husband when we had just had our little boy, and I haven't ever read it to any other kids besides our own kids, so I'm really excited now I get to read it to you.
The couple joined schools chancellor Misha Porter to highlight the Community Schools Initiative, ensuring children are emotionally and socially equipped to learn.
When I was a little girl, sometimes
I need to stop somewhere. The thing that got me when the kids were coming to hug Harry and Meghan, it reminded me of the other brother and the other sister-in-law. Kids are running away. They don't give them one piece of their attention. Yep, so kids knows people's heart.
Sometimes you couldn't see books and see people that looked like yourself. I wanted to make sure that everyone felt like they were included. How are Archie and Lilibet?
It's the couple's first major public appearance since the birth of their daughter Lilibet in June. Their son Archie is now 2 years old. The kids stayed behind in California as Harry and Meghan attended meetings at the United Nations to discuss vaccine equity. On Thursday, they also toured the World Trade Center site, 911 Memorial and Observatory with Mayor Bill de Blasio and Governor Kathy Hochul. But the main focus of Harry and Meghan's visit is to attend Global Citizen, a charity music festival happening in Central Park.
That's in Central Park. Yeah, I recognize the back. Okay, that's the Great Lawn area, and near there, and I think if you walk a little bit further where those people are walking, that's the Belvedere Castle. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Central Park.
Saturday.
Global Citizen Live from New York.
The stage is being set for the concert that's part of a worldwide 24-hour event with a focus on climate change, ending hunger, and fighting for global access to COVID vaccines. Despite giving up their royal titles, Meghan and Harry say they're continuing to use their platform for global change and to inspire the next generation. In Harlem, Natalie Duttridge, CBS 2 News.
Okay, so let's see here. Channel 7 Eyewitness News, WABC TV, ABCTN New York report Harry and Meghan initiative to celebrate Women's History Month with Archwell Foundation by giving grants to gender equity organization and independent media that specialize in women's legal rights. All right, so this is new. This is more recent, I think this month. 30 seconds. Let's see here.
Oscar Gold. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle celebrating Women's History Month through charitable giving. The royal couple tweeted today they're working to advance gender equality through the Archwell Foundation. One of the charities that will get a grant is Small Works, Make It Smart Works, which helps women find good jobs in the United Kingdom. Foundation will also give grants to an independent news outlet, the National Women's Law Center, and the Center on Poverty and Equality at Georgetown University Law Center.
Well, the governor of Massachusetts to see who.
Okay, so that's that, and then I think this is the last one. Okay, at OU Nightly News Channel 124 in Norman, Oklahoma report that Meghan and Harry are doing everything they can to support Women's History Month by promoting gender equality organizations in the United States and United Kingdom. Okay, 22 seconds.
The month of March kicks off Women's History Month. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are doing everything they can to show their support. The couple has announced through the Archwell Foundation they will be working to promote gender equality through different charities in the United Kingdom and the United States. Good night, I'm Emily Faith.
And by the way, Oklahoma, when I think of it, I'm thinking of red state where there's a lot of racists and all of that. But at least the honest and positive news about Harry and Meghan is being spread all over the United States. All right, so let's see here. The above thread includes local TV news stations from New York, Georgia, Florida, Illinois, and Oklahoma, which was this one. All fair, balanced, and truthful information about Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Support your local TV news program and media. Okay, that was a nice thread. Everything that they did in New York was very fair, non-stupid, personal opinion, whether you like them or not. They just tell you exactly what was going on. This is how news is supposed to be. Okay, this is so very nice to see. Thank you for putting it together to share with us. Yeah, and this is why I don't do, how would you say that, pay subscription on my YouTube channel, because the squad are doing a lot of work putting these things together. And then, you know, some of you who are not on Twitter, and I come across them and share them with you. So I think it would be very unfair for me to have pay subscription for you guys to just watch me or listen to me reading tweets for you guys. All right, but yeah, so that's that. All right, today is March 7, 2022. It is 2:49 a.m. All right, 1,718 subscribers, new subscribers, welcome. Although I don't think it changed. All right, $264.74. I had some issues, contacted YouTube regarding my estimate. I was like, there's no way this could be that. Something is not right. So I don't know. All right, but anyway, I'm re-recording a tweet that wasn't working, and I spent like 2 hours yesterday redoing it, and I had a hard time trying to align it with the previous recording. So I was like, you know what, let me just redo it completely. All right, so let's go on Twitter, and I might create more video which I did not record. So let's get to it. All right, so this is the one that I had issue with, and I hope it works. All right, let's see here. It says, it's your weekly BS podcast with the carnival of so-called experts. So Chuck and Gladys, Ukraine PR message was okay, but not his son in LA. And Sussex squad are all bats apparently. You can't make this up. All right, so let's listen. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this again. All right, let's listen again.
Now, rolling out the British royal red carpet has historically been used to sort of flatter and soften the world's despots. Does this risk sort of like lessening that power if royals tend to be politically motivated?
No, I think Hugo put it quite well there. Our political class is united. You know, we are in support of the Ukraine, not just giving them charitable aid, but actually helping them push back against military aggression. So
one of the things that is going on, I don't know if any other places and regular station are showing, is that they not really bringing in, how do you call this, Ukrainians in. They have to go through the process and all sort of stuff. I think, as far as I'm concerned, I think only 50 families they allowed in. And when you look at neighboring country, I'm not 100% sure. One of those neighboring Commonwealth countries around UK is brought in more than thousands. Okay.
Of course, we're going to take refugees. This country's had a historic and proud role in taking refugees from all conflicts. And if you think what we did in Afghanistan, for instance, the UK was way out in front. I'm aware that there's some fake news on the internet about that, and I really want to knock that on the head. The UK is way out in front in our willingness to help with refugees. We've sent 1,000 troops to the theatre to be ready to help with the influx, and of course we will help people fleeing in fear of their lives.
So let's listen.
It would be odd, I think, in many respects, if the royal family didn't fall in behind really a united political front, like they did, obviously, in the Second World War. I mean, George,
and I have issue with that Second World War, and I think it's being played right now the same way you see the UK is doing with the Ukraine and Russian war. They actually more, how will I say that, harboring. I remember the word, harboring the oligarch more than they actually really helping the Ukrainians. you have to follow. There's a lot of things that's going on Twitter, all right? So that tell me what I'm thinking here. So this woman, I don't know, but you were able to see more of light being lit by the royal family, showing support and all of that. Yeah, it brings the morale of people up, but the physical aspect of things, it's what's really more important. Okay?
It became, after Churchill, the most symbolic individual in the country.
It's rather worrying me that that's the comparison. The Second World War. I mean, this is what's so fearsome about the whole situation, isn't it?
Yeah, we're on the precipice of something. We are in the middle of something terrifying. And I think that's where, and Hugo nailed it, we're walking on this very fine line. Certainly the royal...
That's one thing I agree with her, because right now, the way that I see UK is playing both sides, is being very careful and things like that. But you already know which side they are when push comes to shove.
Family, and in particular the Queen, wouldn't want to prod the bear, but at the same time to not stand in support of individuals. Zelensky, I mean, they've met. I mean, Kate Middleton, like me, as a middle-aged woman, I expect she also had the hots for him. I mean, the whole world surely is, the whole world obviously, but the Western world certainly, is very impressed by a president. They've got a personal connection to him. It would have been very odd indeed, I think, if they hadn't reached out and said something.
I want to ask you this, Richard. Unlike Her Majesty, when Charles is king, we will have a pretty good idea of a lot of his opinions. Do you think? I mean, that's quite that, and presumably that's going to be some of his negative opinions.
We certainly will. I mean, I find it very hard to imagine the Queen using the sort of language that we've heard from Prince Charles this week, because it just never has been her style. I genuinely can't think of any time that she's spoken out in that way. Whereas Charles has almost sort of made a name for himself, if that's the right phrase.
Please, the family is involved in almost everything. The letters he be sending, political stuff, claiming it's private, it's how do you call it, invading his privacy and copyright and all of this. I think that's the term. Because he's in a position where anytime he speaks to any world leader, it should be part of public interest. But whatever.
With his outspoken language, he's being critical of various things, whether it's architecture or farming or the climate change, and he has spoken out very vividly. But
that's for sure. He has. Okay, way before the sun, making this earthshot shit.
I think he's always been aware of that, because he's had such a...
All right, let's continue. All right, another 20 minutes.
He's being critical of various things, whether it's architecture or farming or the climate change, and he has spoken out very vividly. But I think he's always been aware of that, because he's had such a long time, a whole lifetime as, in waiting.
But I think this is different, because there really is almost no individual in Britain who wouldn't agree that Ukraine's under unconscionable attack and that it is brutal Russian aggression. I mean, these are words, we're looking at the scenes unfold on the television screen, and he's articulating really, I think, the national conscience at this moment.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Queen agrees with everything he's said, but it's just that she wouldn't...
If they were that involved, that concerned, why don't they talk to Bojo about this kind of thing? But the freaking Putin played them very well. I mean, as brutal or sad this thing, what Putin is doing, but Putin did his homework. He trapped all of them. And this is why the UK is in this position that they are in right now. And you see all these people are cowering to Putin, and the oligarch, I don't know, I know Bojo have put sanction on some, I think banks, Russian banks, and some oligarch and all of that, but many of them, the real deep, good, major players, he's not even touching the surface. All right? But anyway, let's listen.
Normally be the person they would use to express these words in that way.
What do you think about the younger generation of royals? Because I'm thinking of particularly the Sussexes and the Cambridges have...
Please don't bring the Sussexes in. Don't bring the Sussexes in. All right? They're out. This is the part where they're going to try to blame Harry and Meghan for BS of the other ones.
Being born into a world where it's almost a terrible thing in younger people's eyes not to say anything when there's a big world event? Do you think that they would have felt the pressure to have a voice?
But again, I think this was quite a simple one for them because, yes, they do speak out. Yes, most especially Meghan Markle had her own, social media accounts, etc., before she became a princess. But we're united.
There it is. The truth just came out of her mouth in the middle of the thing. This is... I hope the Ranger heard that part before she became a princess. She's still a princess with all of this nonsense you be hearing from the Rangers on Twitter. She just said it here.
This has pretty much united the Western world in an unprecedented way. Think how, we've all been falling out with each other, with Europe, with America, and now we're all together. So
because I listened to this before, and I failed to catch that on my previous recording. The part where she's saying the world is united and all of this. Wait until she get to President Biden. All right, if Biden didn't do some of the things that he did, all right, not what we're seeing happening right now will not be happening if Trump was in power. Okay, so I don't want to rewind it.
I think the problem was solved for the Sussexes and Cambridges. You can say something here because everyone agrees with you. They're not so much leading as following, really, I feel.
Now, you noticed, Richard,
but
strange social media trend when it came to the Sussexes and Zelensky. What was that?
Well, this was something extraordinary that, here we have President Zelensky who is fighting to survive.
He's literally in a bunker.
His life is under threat. And he was able to send a message to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge thanking them for their message of support for Ukraine.
Okay, that I don't follow them for me to know, but I know the Sussexes did, especially Harry when he and Meghan were in the NAACP receiving their award. I don't know about the Cambridges because once they say they don't get involved in politics and all of this BS.
This is unbelievable, but this is literally what happened. He starts then being abused by some of the more strident social media followers of Harry and Meghan, saying, why haven't you thanked them?
What? Okay, I don't think the Sussexes, the Sussex squad are in this mess. I don't think so. I think what's happening in YouTube, on Twitter, is that what I'm hearing is, I don't know if it's true, and there's one Sussex squad who's living in the bordering countries who's saying that for minorities, let's say Asian, Africans, and Indians are having a hard time crossing over. Okay, this is the thing that I see going on Twitter, but I don't hear. I made a rant on my other channel in terms of how Europe should thank America for what's happening for the U.S. Position here. All right, but I don't hear the Sussex squad blaming or naming or cursing or anything like that. So it's probably their bots who's pretending to be the squad, but it's not the squads that I follow. No. The only thing that I see going on Twitter, if it's true or not, is that some Africans, Indians, and some Asian are facing discrimination. And then we have one of the squads who live in the neighboring country who's saying that's not true because everybody's having a hard time crossing the border because when you have bomb, dropping on you, nobody have time for all of this. We're seeing families being shot. I can't even show it because if I do, YouTube is going to block the whole video. My goodness.
Oh my God.
You just think, my goodness.
At which point do we have to question to what extent are those trolls and naysayers actually...
The trolls are you guys. From what we know is the bats from Bat Sentinel who find out you guys are creating multiple accounts. This is how they freaking... My goodness. The UK is infested with lunatics who have the mic to poison the brain. These are freaking lunatics. Wow, that's not the squad. And the bots are you guys who's creating multiple accounts to spread nonsense. And then right after the sanction that's going on, we don't see that many of them on Twitter. And some squad pointed out, including Bat Sentinel, Brazil, mentioned it that since the things to freeze those people's account, we don't see that many bots. My goodness.
Bots. Controlled, incidentally, possibly by Russia. I've often wondered the sort of militancy. But
All right, let's continue. It overlapped a little bit. All right, let's continue here.
Reading is following, really, I feel.
Now, you noticed, Richard, a strange social media trend when it came to the Sussexes and Zelensky. What was that?
Well, this was something extraordinary that, you know, here we have President Zelensky who is fighting to survive.
Well, he's literally in a bunker.
You know, his life is under threat. And he was able to send a message to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge thanking them for their message of support for Ukraine.
I'll look for that, but I don't think it's true.
This is unbelievable, but this is literally what happened. He starts then being abused by some of the more strident social media followers of Harry and Meghan.
That's not
saying,
true.
Why haven't you
That's
thanked
not true.
them?
That's not true.
And you just think, my goodness.
That's not true.
At which
That's
point
not
do
true.
we have to question to what extent are those trolls and naysayers actually bots? Controlled, incidentally, possibly by Russia. I've often wondered.
That's exactly that. This, I agree with her. Because if this, I don't come across of these stuff. But if this is true, what she's saying is that. It's from those trolls. All right? But not the squads that I follow.
The sort of militancy behind some of the Sussex following makes me wonder if they're actually real.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot
This
that
I
just
agree
comes
with her.
across as irrational, and it does make you worry
And,
about.
you know, not now.
But the thing is that when you look at these people with straight face, just spreading lies on national television, this, I don't know where this thing took place, but my goodness, whew.
Sussex squad, not now.
Yeah.
Read the room. But
Oh, please, you guys need to learn to read the room yourself, because we see reality in ourselves. All right, we see reality that's going on. But you guys, my goodness, I never knew the UK was that lunatic. Wow.
for another day. But let's bring Rebecca English back now with the rest of the week's royal news. And Rebecca, you told us last week that the Queen was getting better, and it seems she was well enough to welcome family at the...
You realize, actually, they lowered the volume as she was saying the stuff about the Sussex squad, and then later on, when she finished saying her nonsense, the volume went up.
Weekend.
Yes, so as always, you get your royal news first on Palace Confidential. And as I said last week, the Queen, I was told, was recovering well. And we had an exclusive in Tuesday's Daily Mail to say that actually she was well enough to take a trip out of the castle on Sunday to Frog.
The thing is that it's that, £12 million she shared to pay Virginia Giuffre, and then things got a little bit heated for her. She had to take a break. This is the first time she ever get roasted by almost everyone, like James O'Brien. It was after that segment that Jim O'Brien came out and said, my goodness, you know, he brought the truth out. And then after that, they claimed she had COVID and she disappeared. Now, all of a sudden, she's all perfect. All right. That's what happened with her. All right. She didn't have a COVID.
Where she met up with some,
in my humble opinion,
some of the younger members of her family, namely the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and their children, and Princess Beatrice. And then later on that day, on Tuesday, Buckingham Palace announced that she was able to start to undertake those postponed virtual engagements that she had hoped to do. And also, I think the Prince of Wales mentioned when he met a member of the public that actually, fortunately, his mother had seemed to have quite a mild version of the COVID virus, and
that's the way to minimize the extent of the nonsense they were trying to sell to the public. Mild, my goodness.
Everything seemed to be moving in the right direction.
And given her recent health problems, do you think we can expect to see a cautious approach when it comes to her appearances at the Jubilee later this year?
Absolutely. I mean,
the thing with that Jubilee thing, with the things that's going on around the world, these people are still thinking of celebration. Wow. Shoo, UK, you got a problem.
Right direction.
And given her recent health problems, do you think we can expect to see a cautious approach when it comes to her appearances at the Jubilee later this year?
Absolutely. I mean, I spoke to a very good contact of mine recently who said the conversations they're having now around the Queen and the Jubilee are very different to the conversations they were having a year ago. You know, a year ago they expected her to be front and centre of everything, attending every event, and that definitely is no longer the case. She will attend what they call the big kind of keynote events around the Jubilee, both in the run up to it and also over that big 4-day bank holiday weekend, but she definitely won't be attending everything. Now, I'm told, please don't let that be a cause for alarm. It's a simple fact that life at 95, you know, you wake up one day, as someone described to me, with aches and pains that you didn't have the day before. And, you know, if she gets a cold or something like that, or as we saw COVID the other week, it will maybe knock her out of circulation for a little bit longer than it would have done a year ago. But
This is what they're selling to the public, to forget that £12 million she shed to pay Virginia. Now you feel all sorry for her. Everything is all fine. Everybody else forget all of the nonsense that just happened with Andrew. Wow. And then you're looking at the prime minister who is still in position. I cannot believe this thing.
These are celebrations of her historic anniversary, and she will definitely be seen, but just be warned, it won't be quite as much as we'd hoped.
And I wanted to talk to you quickly about this new exhibition. When you think you've seen every Diana picture possible in the world, this week there was a striking new portrait revealed.
It's fantastic.
Wow. They really do have control the mind of the people in the UK. All right. So according to the Two-Faced Tessa, NAACP Image Awards was too much, and Harry and Meghan should have attended, and Harry saying that, quote, "We were meant to be together," was too much. The award was too Hollywood with the Ukrainian-Russia war. There's the rolling eye. Let's listen.
Yes, we haven't seen Harry and Meghan in their glad rags for a while, but they were out in full force at the NAACP Image Awards at the weekend, and they're receiving a special presidential award from the Civil Rights Organisation for their work in expanding equality in the public arena. There's a lot of debate about this award.
What debate? What debate? I mean, these people really looking, they like to look for problem from other people while they're dumbing down the rest of the subject. My goodness, what problem? Harry and Meghan have been doing work by themselves before they met, and they're doing work together. But what's the problem? So NAACP recognize the hard work that they've been doing, which, you know, for average people like myself, I think it's a lot of work. But for Harry and Meghan, it's part of their nature. It's not hard work at all. But NAACP recognize the things that they've been doing since they were a teen. My goodness, these people are freaking lunatic.
Harry and Meghan say it, you know, it's great, and it's nice to see them rewarded for the work they've been doing since leaving the royal family. Those that don't like
it's not since they were leaving the royal family. That was way before that. Okay, way before that, way before Meghan got married Harry, way before all of this nonsense. You guys are twisting people's knowledge and stuff like that. These people are really crazy. Wow.
You know, ask what have they achieved? They've been doing, but have they actually achieved anything?
Oh my! Did you guys just hear that? Have they achieved anything? Okay, the thing is that Harry had put it perfectly in Obama Foundation, is that there have been so many other organizations that have been doing so many work. They don't want to create another organization to grab more money from donors or whatever. Instead, what they're doing, they're using their platform to highlight people who's already doing some incredible work. Okay, so they're supporting them. Okay, they are supporting of other organizations who's already doing amazing work.
So you're affiliated, as many in your family are, with many, many charities. You're patrons of certain organizations. I read that you have about 15 charities that you're affiliated with. Your brother and sister-in-law have about 35, but that's less than some other members of your family, right? You all are doing it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So how do you focus?
So,
and tell us that by contrast, how many charities might other royals be affiliated with in different generations?
Hundreds. My grandmother had to rewrite the rule books to a certain extent. My father, my mother have also done it their way, and now we're the younger generation coming through, trying to do it our way, because the world has changed so much. We believe that by streamlining and by bringing people together in order to effect real positive change is the only way forward. And you know, it worked for previous generations, and we will always say yes to becoming patron of a charity that we believe in and that we're incredibly passionate about. But I think in today's world, you have to be involved with things that make sense to where your passions lie, rather than potentially turning up to a charity once a year. I don't think that's necessarily beneficial to anybody. But you know, our mental health campaign, Heads Together, back in the UK, is a classic example of where we were able to bring together 8 charities within the mental health sector.
With your mic.
I'm so sorry.
No worries, thank you. We were able to bring together 8 mental health charities that have been working in the sector for many, many, many years. But being able to bring them together and say, right, you guys have never sat around a table together and discussed the main issues. What we want to be able to do now is, through our foundation, create a platform in which your expertise and your experience is elevated. And therefore, you tell us what needs to be done around mental health within the UK and globally. And they said, if you can remove the stigma, that makes our life a lot easier. So that's exactly what we did. We tried to remove the stigma and tried to normalize the discussion around mental health.
The protocol may have been lending your name and using your name to create a halo around the organization that would benefit it. And it sounds like the younger royals are more about more than just name association, more direct action and involvement. So do you feel you're more hands-on? Is that fair to say?
I think in today's world, you have to be. I think you have to be much more hands-on, and also.
Why? I mean, why do you have to be? You could have done it the same way. You could have had 200 charities and been a patron of them. I mean, no one would have thought any different.
No, but if you end up working individually for, let's say, 200 charities, in today's world, I think that kind of dilutes the impact that you can have. What our foundation is all about and what our platform is all about is encouraging people to come together, to work together, so that there's less competition within that sector, whether it's financially or otherwise, and saying, right, guys, you're doing the same thing. Please, let's get around a table, talk to each other, work it out, and come up with a long-term strategy.
All right, and we have seen this. They talk the talk, they walk the walk, they put their money where their mouth is. Look at World Central Kitchen, they're supporting. Look at those 3 other organizations. Was it 3 or 4? The 19th, what is it? The one those 3 recent ones, they just helping. Okay, but these people, they don't see all of the things that, Harry was right. Some people do get it, but there's some others who just who turn a blind eyes, trying not to understand, so they could create nonsense and nonsense.
How can you possibly have a private life?
We are completely aware that we're in a very privileged position, and I will spend the rest of my life, earning that privilege and trying to bring a spotlight onto things and causes that really, really matter to me, and I hopefully matter to a lot of other people as well. Everyone has a right to their privacy, and a lot of the members of the public get it, but sadly in some areas there is this sort of incessant need to find out every little bit of detail about what goes on behind the scenes.
But these people, what they have achieved a lot.
Yeah, I suppose it's one of those ones, like anything with Harry and Meghan, it's just slightly divisive, and I think you pay your money, you take your choice.
What? As if Harry and Meghan paid to get that award? What is wrong with these people? And then the way she threw it is like, oh, you pay your money and then you get your award. No, it's the work that they've been doing, and they recognize them for that. Jeez.
Divisive, and I think you pay your money, you take your choice.
Thank you, Rebecca. Let's bring the panel back now. Tessa,
were
you pleased to see Harry and Meghan get their prize?
Wow.
I generally have very little truck with the pair. I think they tend to do good works, and certainly they've been acknowledged.
Okay, finally you're saying something right here. Yes, they've been doing good work. A lot of the work that they're doing, people in position like the royal family who pretend to be servant to the people, who should be doing much, much more than what Harry and Meghan are doing. Jeez.
Acknowledged as doing good works with this award, and Meghan in thousands of pounds worth of sparkling jewels and a dress.
Oh my God. Oh my God. But it's none of the taxpayers' money. Whether or not she wear thousands of pounds of jewels is none of your business. She earned it. She worked for it. And then that lawsuit she just won from Diddy Fair, she earned it. These people are ridiculous. And they have to throw that in.
I found the whole sort of Hollywood aspect of the event, given what was going on in Ukraine.
Okay, what the warriors are actually doing physically. Wow, these people are freaking ridiculous.
A bit insensitive. That's not their fault.
How the
That's
hell?
Hollywood in its own little kind of love bubble.
Isn't the BAFTAs gonna happen soon? Isn't the BAFTAs gonna happen? Is the BAFTAs gonna stop because of what's going on in Ukraine? From what I understand, no wonder why I bookmark it, but I didn't share the thing, is that the BAFTA's gonna be happening, I think, on the 12th. So is the BAFTA gonna stop because of the Ukraine war? Let's listen to this BS that's going on.
All sort of Hollywood aspect of the event, given what was going on in Ukraine. A bit insensitive. That's not
How
their
the
fault.
hell?
That's Hollywood in its own little kind of love bubble.
No, people's lives move on. But at the same time, they're helping where they can. Let's see if the BAFTA's gonna stop because of the war of Russia and Ukraine.
But they could have maybe
toned it down a bit.
Yeah.
How? How? Oh my God, they could have toned it down. How? What else can they do? I'm telling you, these people are freaking lunatic. How are they supposed to turn it down if they can be themselves? These people are really crazy. I'm moving it back a little bit.
Kind of love bubble.
But they could have maybe
toned it down a bit.
had a word about
there was
that. Yeah.
Harry in his tux, and he went, "Oh, you know, we all stand by Ukraine." And I was thinking, I want you to do more than that in this instance, Harry. Give us something. I'm doing a solidarity marathon, crowdfunding with.
Okay, why does the Warriors don't do that? Why can't the Warriors do that? Okay, from what I understand, Harry and Meghan are already doing that. Okay, what are they doing? They were, from my understanding, is that World Central Kitchen is providing hot meals in those areas. All right, neighboring countries. From my understanding.
Let's try to concentrate in what we are good at, which we've been keeping fairly simple because we do food and we do water, and that's what we do in emergencies. But then we even in emergencies, which emergencies do we respond? And we kind of said, okay, natural events, but yeah, hurricanes, tornadoes, volcanoes. But now I cannot believe we are in the middle of a refugee crisis created by a war that should not be happening. And man, this breaks your heart. Breaks your heart.
The war in Ukraine began on February 24th, and on February 25th, my colleague Sam arrived with 2,000 hot meals for people entering from Ukraine.
Bananas are the perfect food. Why? Because you peel them, they're clean. The fruit that comes with its own container.
Thank you very much. Dankeschön. Merci beaucoup. Gracias.
There are 7 border crossings between Poland and Ukraine, and we are serving hot meals at every one of them.
Probably the best one we've done yet.
We're also in Hungary, Romania, Moldova, as well as Ukraine itself, and will continue to grow as refugees continue to flee the country of Ukraine.
Okay, so Harry already supporting World Central Kitchen. This is why the organization is shedding light to other organizations who's already doing the hard work. They don't want to, okay, World Central Kitchen is doing that, so therefore let me create an organization similar to World Central Kitchen. No, it doesn't make sense. If these people have been doing those kind of things already, why competing with them? Why competing with them? Instead, help them. And this is what Harry's doing. So Harry's already responded, answered that lady question. Well, Central Kitchen. Okay? Well, Central Kitchen, Harry already supporting the Archwell, Harry and Meghan. So if all the stuff that they're doing, they're saying Harry and Meghan or Archwell should be doing, how come the royal family are not doing it? These are things the royal family should be doing. So these kind of nonsense she's spreading for Harry and Meghan to do, these are the things the royal family to do.
With a charity on the ground in Ukraine.
Well, maybe he is doing something.
Well, then why didn't he or help us find a way? Because I think a lot of people are feeling impotent at the moment.
Yeah, like the royal family, impotent at the moment. They don't know what to do. They don't know initiative, how to create stuff. And if Harry and Meghan were over there, they didn't treat them like shit, they probably would have done something more to help boost the image of the royal family. So all of this nonsense that she's saying, how come the royal family are not doing it? These are things she should say to the royal family. Do this for Ukraine. Do a marathon for Ukraine. Maybe Harry and Meghan are doing much, much more in the background than what we're seeing. They don't need the spotlight. If they were doing it, I'm sure, if they were telling people this is what I'm doing for Ukraine, they will still have a problem with it. These people are crazy.
Well, maybe he is doing something.
Well, then why didn't he or help us find a way? Because I think a lot of people are feeling impotent at the moment.
Like the royal family.
It felt, fewer words and more action in this moment.
All this for the royal family.
Harry. And there he was, then once again sort of slight nasal gazing. So I'm meant to be with my wife because
I think they're meant to be, because if he had somebody else, I don't think they that woman would be able to sustain supportive of Harry, because his family are freaking lunatic. They don't know how to mind their own business. Instead, they're doing shitty stuff on the side, and they're looking someone as a scapegoat. So if Harry were to marry someone else, I don't think they'll be able to sustain that. Meghan's record is too clean to be a scapegoat for this lunatic of the people that claim to be your royals, the head of state or whatever. But all of this nonsense that she's saying, these are things for the royal family, not Harry and Meghan.
Stand about injustice and listening to the people who aren't listened to, and it jarred for me slightly. And like I say, I think they're generally a force for the good. They just felt like they were behind the curve.
There was criticism from someone who leads a chapter of this civil rights organisation, the NAACP.
All right, let's see. As for that bishop, Rick couldn't wait to mention him, and Harry apologized for wearing that uniform. All right, let's see this one.
A charity on the ground in Ukraine.
Well, maybe he is doing something.
Well, then why didn't he or help us find a way? Because I think a lot of people are feeling impotent at the moment.
Like you?
And it
you're royal.
Fewer words and more action in this moment I wanted from Harry. And then he was, then once again...
Harry and Meghan are doing enough. Harry and Meghan are doing enough. But like I said, all of this nonsense she's spewing, these are things she should mention to her queen, to Charles, to William, and all of this, the incompetence, the laziness.
She hasn't seen Harry and Meghan in their glass.
All right.
Still gazing. So I'm meant to be with my wife.
Yeah,
together
he meant to be.
Yeah. Justice and listening to the people who aren't listened to, and it jarred for me slightly. And like I say, I think they're generally a force for the good. They just felt like they were behind the curve.
There was criticism from someone who leads a chapter of this civil rights organisation, the NAACP, Bishop Talbot Swan, and he's a civil rights sort of leader. And his view was that Harry should not have been given an award from a civil rights group, because he's never really apologised for his racist comments in the past.
All right, I'm gonna insert the response to this lunatic up here. All right, I'm gonna insert that video right now.
My wife said recently that our generation and the ones before us haven't done enough to right the wrongs of the past. I too am sorry. Sorry that we haven't got the world to the place that you deserve it to be. Institutional racism has no place in our societies, yet it is still endemic. Unconscious bias must be acknowledged without blame to create a better world for all of you. I want you to know that we are committed to being part of the solution and to being part of the change that you are all leading. Now is the time, and we know that you can do it. I too am sorry. Sorry that we haven't got the world to the place that you deserve it to be.
Right, let's continue.
They were pretty bad. I mean, apart from dressing up as a Nazi, he also, used a racial term of abuse against a comrade in the armed forces.
And then all this, okay, as a young man, okay, this is what the royal family had taught him. Okay, the royal family taught him. You have the queen as a young child. You see, her family was teaching her how to do the salute. Okay, the Nazi salute. All right, all these he was taught. All right, now he's a changed man and understand his action. He's a changed man. He understand. So he had made his apology for things that he were not aware of, things that the royal family did not teach him, to know that your action hurt other people. Your behavior, your words hurt other people. So now he's a better human being. He understand. He's a changed man. So I'm not going to blame him for the things that he did in the past as a young person. However, if he had continued, okay, I've said this in many other videos, if Harry had continued with his bad behavior, then yes, I will blame him. But right now, he changed man, he made his apology, and he's a changed man. And then that NAACP, all right, they recognize him for the work that he did. And for those who are in the UK, NAACP is not just for black people, okay? If they see an injustice that is happening, they will stand for it, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian American, Native American, or white, okay? If the injustice is there, they will fight for it. This is the thing that NAACP goal is, the injustice. So it's not just black and white, okay? Whoever's saying this BS they don't understand. It was created by black people because they were the one who still are going through the obstacles that they keep throwing at them. So they create that NAACP to injustice that is happening, unfair laws that's happening, people who are experiencing biases, all sort of nonsense. Okay, it's not just for black people. It was created by black people, but it's not just for black people. Okay, so you guys, okay, just go to their website, NAACP, I think .org or something like that. Go read their bio. Shish.
And he sort of hinted at it, but he's never really apologised for that.
Okay.
And so the idea of them getting this award, I think, really sort of left a bad taste in Bishop Swan's...
No, in your mouth, but not everybody else. Harry have done his work and walked the walk and did his thing, and he had apologized for things that he wasn't aware of.
Mouth, and he felt that these awards should be going to black people.
Sure.
People who've just moved from Britain, because on the basis of their celebrity. We call me cynical, but it should be noted that the company...
I didn't hear whoever that person he's referring to. I didn't hear what he said, but that's not true. Okay, in terms of how NAACP recognize people. Okay, that's not true.
That was doing PR publicity for these awards is Sunshine Sachs, which just happens to also have Harry and Meghan as a client. So I don't want to cast aspersions, but it's possible that the two things could be related.
Oh my goodness!
But you're being churlish there, but I would say the bigger takeaway was it jarred a bit. It was the sort of third day of a war in Ukraine, and it felt like. That once again America was in La La Land, which, to be honest, a lot of the time it's felt like they have been over this, the ratcheting up of this potential war that then finally came to be. I thought they missed a beat, and they were the centerpiece of that.
They're all just following Joe Biden's lead.
Well, Joe Biden is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. At least I could sleep well at night. We don't have that lunatic that used to be in office who's triggering for war and all of that. Joe Biden is doing a wonderful job. Okay? My goodness, like people's in La La Land. At least I could sleep well at night. I mean, we're still hanging on a string by those Republicans who's trying to do some crazy stuff, like the Tories over there. But at least we have a good leader who's doing what somewhat is right. Okay, nobody's going to agree with everything that Biden does. But at least... we have someone who understands world views and understand who could read the room pretty much. My goodness. Wow, these people are crazy.
Being in La La Land, barely aware. Ooh, politics. Anyway, let's move.
My goodness, she threw her shade into politics. My goodness.
Move on. Now we're moved to talk about the Queen now, Tessa.
Let's it roll over.
Because on the basis of their celebrity. I mean, call me cynical, but it should be noted that the company that was doing PR, publicity for these awards is Sunshine Sachs, which just happens to also have Harry and Meghan as a client. So I don't want to cast aspersions, but it's possible that the two things could be related.
Oh my goodness!
But you're being churlish there, but I would say the bigger takeaway was it jarred a bit. It was the sort of third day of a war in Ukraine, and it felt like. That once again America was in La La Land, which, to be honest, a lot of the time it's felt like they have been over this.
My goodness, these people are really. This cannot be. Because the thing that Joe Biden is not like Trump, where he publicizes everything that he does. All right, he just go and do his thing. But these people, wow.
Ratcheting up of this potential war that then finally came to be. I thought they missed a beat, and they were the centrepiece of that.
They're all just following Joe Biden's lead, being in La La Land, barely aware. Oh, politics. Anyway, let's move on. Now we're going to talk about the Queen now, Tessa.
Because
so that's it. Let's see here. Let me see if the Kim goes to BAFTA. Thank you. All right, this one just all right, let's see if the Kims goes to BAFTA. Okay, 75th British Academy Award. Okay, Sunday, 13 March 22. All right, there's this here. Prince William, who has been president of BAFTA since 2010, and his wife, Kate Middleton, will also be attending for the first time since 2020 after they pulled out last year following the death of Prince Philip. Okay, everything you need to know about BAFTA. That's the thing I think I bookmarked someplace else. Date, nominees, and how to watch it. I forgot to add that the bishop dissed the royal family. Oh, okay, I didn't know about that. Okay, the Queen and said they need to give Africa all the stolen diamonds back. I also forgot to mention the bishop was permanently banned from Twitter for saying racist things about white people. However, he was reinstated. Oh, see, I didn't know about this. The British royal reporters are truly unbearable. Yep, my goodness. I hope they realize they basically dissed the NAACP award, and all of us Americans love it. Keep it coming. Why are they worrying about the president of the United States? That's what I'm saying. Joe Biden, when Boris Johnson and probably the whole Tory are deep into Putin Russia oligarchs' deep pocket. I think they're just jealous. They want to talk about the Sussexes being out of touch, but what about the royal family announcing Jubilee celebration tour? This is the thing here. I hope whoever was listening in the UK could put this thing together and say, okay, if they want Harry and Meghan to do this, but how come the royal family is not doing that? Okay, this kind of thing. They're expecting so much. Like Harry should walk over there and stop the war and all of this. If he was able to do that, they will blame him for something else. But my goodness. Okay, exactly. Thanks for posting these clips, Jules. Tessa joined the F troop. I see. I don't know any of their names. Okay, don't forget these people, which I use loosely, are paid to spew their hate on whatever Harry and Meghan do. I think that's what it is. Okay, he wishes he had the Sussex squad clout when it comes to raising money. They're saying, how come the Sussex squad, not Sussex squad, the Sussexes don't do marathon and all of that. These are things you should mention to your queen. Okay, these are the things you should mention to your queen. Harry and Meghan are doing enough. Okay, whatever the things that they're doing is enough for them. This is what they could do at the moment. But your queen, your monarch is telling the people, give me your tax money so I could do this, so I could do that. So they're not doing these things. These nonsense that she bring up, these are things she should bring to the royal family. I swear, anytime Harry and Meghan do anything, there is always some sort of happenings that turn it into, quote, not now Harry and Meghan, and quote, only when Harry and Meghan step out do they have some other whatever to compare it to, and somehow all the timing and sensitive, these people really are diseased. They are. Okay, don't they have their fave to gloat on? That's exactly that. Harry and Meghan are doing good work, which why they were acknowledged. Exactly. Okay, Richard E. is trying to attack the Sussex squad for several months now because of Prince William affair. But whatever he was saying about the Sussex squad or this and that, nah, that's not the Sussex squad. Let's do a prayer. I'm more than an hour, so I'm gonna use one of the squad's prayer. Okay, one of the squad's prayer. And I have more tweets. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, maybe I'll just record, and whenever I get to edit them, I'll do. This is the prayer for this video. Okay, I won't add any more tweet. Okay, prayer for Has, Meg, and Archie Lily. Our help comes from you, our Lord. We praise you. Please cover the Sussexes and their supporters with your amazing grace. We pray you protect, bless Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, Diana, and Miss Doria. Give them peace and vindicate them. Keep them safe, expose and destroy all their enemies. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so that's this. She used this picture. That's the first time I'm seeing this. Is it on top of United Nations? Oh no, that's not on top, but there's the parking area, the booth. Okay, our help come from the Lord. Psalm 121:2. All right, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to help support this channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. You could donate. All right, so that's it. I have more to share with you next video.